up, everybody? This is H2Hubb with H2Hubb, and we're here to do a product proof video for the Aquela 8.0 product. If you don't know what a product proof video is, it is basically where we discuss scientific literature that this product has been used in and has shown statistical improvements or therapeutic effects within that study or that model. And so we're going to do that for the Aquela 8.0. Now, this product is rather unique on the market. It is a product that can produce high milligram per liter hydrogen-rich water in a 500 milliliter bottle. It takes about 24 hours to process this water, but we've been able to test it from anywhere between 7 all the way up to 11 milligrams per liter of dissolved molecular hydrogen in water. So there's not too many products on the market that can do that, and so it's rather unique in that sense. And so we're going to go ahead and cover actually 2 studies that this product was used in, and both of them deal with our vascular health. And so basically dealing with our vascular health and how it can relate to cardiovascular disease or therapeutic effects in that regard. So let's go ahead and get into it. So first, to begin, we're going to cover some of the basics of the study and then do a couple highlights from each, and then be done with the video. So first, to begin, the first study that we're going to look at is actually titled "Consumption of water containing over 3.5 milligrams of dissolved hydrogen could improve vascular endothelial function." So to cover some of the basics, they actually had 34 individuals consume 500 milliliters of high milligram per liter hydrogen-rich water. The water contained over 7 ppm or 3.5 milligrams of hydrogen dissolved into 500 milliliters of water. They drank this water, and after 30 minutes, they actually took some measurements to be able to measure the bronchial arteries flow mediated dilation. So basically blood flow of the bronchial artery. And so they either had the hydrogen-rich water or they had the placebo water. And some of the basic results from it, obviously, we wouldn't be talking about it if hydrogen didn't improve it, but it did have an improvement on it, on these individuals. And so we'll discuss actually what some of the highlights are about what it says within the study about these improvements. So let's go ahead and get to the first one. The first statement in the actual discussion states that that this study shows that the high milligram per liter hydrogen-rich water was able to directly scavenge hydroxyl radicals and significantly improve flow-mediated dilation of the bronchial artery. And so basically it was able to improve blood flow by decreasing oxidative stress. Another thing that they also mentioned is that it was demonstrated previously the hydrogen does not react with nitric oxide but scavenge peroxynitrate. And so peroxynitrate is a reactive nitrogen species. And so it actually shows that hydrogen was able to, a possible mechanism behind hydrogen was able to do this was by eliminating reactive nitrogen species like peroxynitrate and allowing the blood flow, or actually I should say, by doing so, improving the blood flow. It says here that daily consumption of water containing over 7 ppm H2 may prevent such latent or micro scale vascular injuries. And so it also has a statement here that hydrogen may actually protect against micro scale vascular injuries of our vascular system. It continues to state this, which I think is interesting, that it says, here we show that only 1 round of enhanced protection of endothelial by H2 against flow-mediated generated shear stress and oxidative stress. And so not only did hydrogen was able to improve the blood flow, but it also protected against oxidative stress that can be caused by that. So it's rather remarkable that hydrogen was able to also improve the blood flow, but also protect your vascular system while doing so. And so it's basically what that's pointing to. Lastly, with this study. It says here about recent publications on H2 water and type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. Both of these medical conditions are linked to endothelial dysfunction. So hydrogen's actually protective effects on our vascular system may actually even have benefits towards these disease models with type 2 diabetes and metabolic syndrome. And so in conclusion, they show that basically an acute or one-time drinking of this high milligram per liter hydrogen-rich water had a protective effect on our vascular system and also improved blood flow in our bronchial artery. All right, so in the results, it actually has not only an interesting note, but actually has a impressive quote about this beneficial effect that hydrogen had. And so it says here that the FMD, or flow-mediated dilation, increased by 19.9% after ingestion of 3.5 milligrams of H2, whereas the placebo group flow-mediated dilation decreased slightly. So that's pretty impressive that it was able to improve the blood flow by 19.9%. Now, like, remember, this was just right after 30 minutes. So this was after 30 minutes consumption, they did the test. And so hydrogen is acting rapidly to improve blood flow. And so that's another one of the interesting highlights of this study. So we'll go ahead and dive into the next study that's on the same topic, basically, with a larger sample size of patients. The title of this next article is "Peripheral Endothelial Function Can Be Improved by Daily Consumption of Water Containing Over 7 ppm of Dissolved Hydrogen, a Randomized Controlled Trial." And so the actual level of this study has been elevated. And so what they're actually going to be looking at in this study, to cover the basics, is they're going to be taking measurements of reactive hyperemia index, basically RHI. This is a measurement, or I think it's also has reference to the PAT test, the PAT test. It has reference to vascular endothelial function as a prediction of cardiovascular disease prognosis. And so to actually improve this measurement, would be able to show an improvement in our vascular function. And so they end up having, this study was conducted on 68 volunteers who were randomly divided into two groups. They have a placebo group and a high H2 water group. The H2 water was 500 milliliters of 7 ppm hydrogen-rich water containing 3.5 milligrams of hydrogen. And so they were actually going to do a measurement on these people to actually see their RHI measurement 1 hour after their first ingestion and 24 hours after their first ingestion, and then after 14 days. And so we can go ahead and get into some of the cool highlights of this particular article using this product. Okay, so after the first ingestion, after 24 hours, hydrogen had a 22.2% improvement on their actual RHI measurement. And on top of that, after daily consumption for 2 weeks, it had a 25.4% improvement, which is a rather big deal. I just think that's quite impressive, just on the first bout of drinking the water after 24 hours. It had such a profound improvement on the peripheral endothelial function, our vascular system. Now, it also states here in this particular article, like I said, that this product was used, Aquela Global. It was prepared, the subjects drank from this product. So one of the proposed mechanisms for how hydrogen was improving the vascular function, or even had a improvement on the actual measurement that they were looking at, was due to a possibility of improving mitochondrial function. And so because of that, it actually shows that maybe hydrogen might be inducing a beneficial effect on the mitochondria, which ends up having a beneficial effect on the endothelial function, or our vascular endothelial function. So that's one, another cool highlight from this article. Okay, it also states here that in the conclusion, it states, it was suggested that the high H2 water is useful for improving the function of vasculature and decreasing the risk of illness. And so this is a rather big deal when it comes to not only our cardiovascular health, but also talking about, like I said, our vascular system. Hydrogen water is improving this. Based on this article, it had beneficial effects for it. Now they want to do larger studies, but for this point of product proof, we wanted to highlight the fact that there are clinical studies that are happening with this product in particular, and showing that high milligram per liter H2 water can have a beneficial effect on our vascular system, thereby having a beneficial effect on our cardiovascular system and potential other diseases protecting from that. And so it's quite promising. And this definitely has some product proof behind it. And so we'll catch you next time at the H2Hubb.